Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Are you soaking up everything that CES has to offer in Vegas at the moment? There is news today that Samsung is adding their rival, Apple's iTunes, to their smart TVs. AI-assisted living is about to enter the mainstream, and so much hype around tech that, if we're honest, is probably not quite ready yet. But there does seem to be a wind of change in the air, and I just love the fact that companies like Apple and Samsung are beginning to explore working together more rather than against each other. It's only a small step, but hey, life is so much simpler if we all get along, right? Speaking of which, it's confession time. I want to be honest with you here. I have a bit of a stubborn streak, and when the world became obsessed with Instagram, I dug in my heels and said, nah, it's just a fad. I think grumpy old man syndrome must have kicked in. But the more I dug my heels in, the bigger the platform got. Until my son, wife, stepdaughter, Kirsty, all sat me down and told this ageing podcast host that, hey, I need to sort myself out and offer my listeners a chance to see a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes and not hide behind a microphone. Cutting words indeed. So, with my arm around my back, you can now find at Neil C. Hughes on Instagram, where I'm going to be experimenting a little and adding podcast stuff on there. Should I do daily stories, Insta TV? This is where I'm turning to you guys for a little help, so please follow me on there and offer a little guidance, and make sure I'm not that podcast guy with 3 followers. Plus, I think it's a great idea to get to know you all a little better and see where in the world you listen to the show and what you get up to in your daily lives too. Now, in June this year, it will be an incredible 4 years since I first launched this podcast. And as many of you know, I've been on an incredible journey that began with me building a side gig, working 9 to 5 in IT, and then 6 till 1 a.m. on what I'm doing now, until it reached a point where I just needed to make the leap. But I am conscious there are many, many people listening that might want to do exactly the same thing. And I'm living proof that technology has completely removed risk from the equation now when it comes to setting up your own business, because you don't have to hand in your notice and jump straight in not knowing how much money you're going to make. You can sit on your laptop at night building the foundations whilst binge watching a Netflix show. And these are the opportunities that technology is creating, and that's what I want to shout about. So today's guest is going to tell us a little bit more about the tools that are out there and how independent dog walkers, barbers, makeup artists are actually out there out-earning software engineers that are stuck in that daily grind. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to San Francisco so we can speak with Chinwe Onyeagoro, who is the CEO of PocketSuite. And she's going to share the top 3 factors that give solopreneurs the leg up over some of the best paid professionals in the US and beyond, including SMS, CRM, and on-demand pay. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Neil, for having me on the show. It's actually a gray morning in San Francisco, so I'll try to keep it peppy. My name is Chinwe Onyeagoro, and I'm the CEO of a company called PocketSuite. And PocketSuite is essentially a tool for service professionals who are in the field and serving clients every day to be able to get booked and paid from wherever they happen to be.
Now, when I was researching you guys, my understanding was that PocketSuite is a provider of mobile-based booking, payment and client management tools for solopreneurs. But just to ensure that we're all on the same page, can you just tell me a little bit more about exactly what PocketSuite is, the kind of problems that it solves for solopreneurs, and also what makes it unique and stand out from the crowd?
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, you think about solopreneurs, they represent about 80% of all small businesses in the US, and actually the numbers go up globally. So the vast majority of businesses around the world are one-man shows. And so the question is, how do they get everything they need to get done while serving to them from wherever they happen to be, allow clients to see their schedule and allow clients to self-book so that they don't miss leads. Oftentimes, these professionals are seeing clients or following up on other missing phone calls, their missing opportunities. And so what PocketSuite does is it gives clients and the potential interested folks the information they need to be able to do business professionals. And then it also allows these service professionals to get paid really, really fast. Oftentimes businesses will complain about receivables issues. Oh gosh, it's been 30 days. In 60 days, I still haven't been paid. What PocketSuite does is it flips it on its head. PocketSuite gets service professionals paid within 24 hours of doing the work because it's all happening over SMS, helping business run the business essentially over SMS, over text. So that really ensures really speedy communications and really speedy payments and very fast bookings from anywhere.
Wow, as a solopreneur myself, I've got to admit, 24-hour payment, that doesn't exist in my world at the moment. I would be doing something wrong. But like you said, there are some breathtaking stats around contractors, freelancers and solopreneurs and how the employment landscape is dramatically changing. But what do you think are the top 3 factors that give a solopreneur a leg up over some of the best paid professionals in the US and, of course, beyond?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that gives solopreneurs a leg up is they're living the life they want to. Right? Solopreneurs can essentially work from anywhere they want. We have service businesses, folks who run cleaning companies, as an example, that are literally on the beach in Hawaii, and they have cleaners all over the region doing. But they're able to see what's happening. They're able to see clients' delight and the work's getting done. People that are working for them are getting paid fairly, and they're able to manage it all from their phone. So you can work from anywhere as a solopreneur. Oftentimes when you have a larger business, you're stuck in kind of one place, doing one thing, with a bricks and mortar institution. With solopreneurs, they have the freedom to work from home, from the beach, and if they want to work from the office or from a shop, they can do that too. So total flexibility from that perspective. I think the second thing is very low to no overhead. The service professionals that operate on PocketSuite, they literally can get started overnight. We have folks who have full-time jobs with government agencies. They have jobs, in like corporate America, and they're also fitness trainers on the side on the weekends, and they're supplementing their income to the tune of 30-40%. Doing what they love. They enjoy working out. They can teach folks how to do yoga and Pilates, and they can make really good money doing that. People are able to book them while they're doing their, 9-to-5 job. And then when they get out and are available in the evenings or weekends, they're able to deliver that service and get paid in 24 hours. So it's just, it used to be a, saying that you can have it all, but you can't have it all at once. Well, solopreneurs can actually have it all at once, which is a really powerful thing.
It really is. Can you tell me a little bit more about the 3 technologies that are essentially working together to put solopreneurs, freelancers and contractors in the driving seat?
Absolutely. So there's sort of 3 core sort of functions that we fundamentally see that helps businesses run smoothly and generate reoccurring income. The first and foremost is a booking tool. This is a tool that basically syncs to your calendar. So whether you're on Android or iOS, it is actually syncing to your calendar on a real-time basis. So if you have private appointments, it's ensuring that you don't get booked during those times. And then anytime you do get booked, it makes it available and visible on your personal calendar too, so that you're not double booking over that. So it's a perfect real-time sync with your phone calendar. That's one. When you think about it, service professionals, the main inventory you have is your time. And so being able to very clearly make that time visible when you're available and then monetize is your number one priority. The second thing we have is a payments tool. So we do processing of credit cards. Death to cash and check, right? You should be able to get paid anywhere, anytime, whether folks have, the cash in their pocket or not. Credit cards make that possible. So you're able to accept credit cards over the phone. And what we do is not only can you in person accept those credit cards, right? You can scan a credit card right in front of you and you can process that payment same day. But the other thing you can do is when you send an appointment confirmation to someone, you can actually require them to put a credit card on file. That's the real game changer. Here's why. You can collect deposits up front. So you're not just confirming appointments, you're securing your time. You're ensuring that if they don't show up, You're able to charge them a cancellation fee because your time is money, and they have to respect that time. But more importantly, when you deliver that service, when you're done, you have that credit card on file. You can complete and charge that job. You don't have to go back, send them a clunky invoice. You don't have to go back and chase them down for payment. You have the credit card on file. You have an agreement that up to this amount can be charged. So you can tap two buttons and you're done. So a payments tool is the second core function. And then the third core function is messaging. Everything is happening over SMS. People check their phone 90 times a day. And so when you think about the speed and velocity of communication, SMS is really powerful as compared to email, where people check it about 10 to 15 times a day. That's how we can achieve the 24-hour turnaround time on payments. Here's the other thing we achieve with SMS. If you have contracts or forms or other documents that need to be read, reviewed, signed, filled out by your clients, that's all happening over SMS as well. We're able to attach forms and contracts to your appointments so folks can sign it on their phone with their fingers within seconds. Things that you typically take, days, weeks to fax and email and print and so forth, no longer have to do that. You can, with PocketSuite, really send it over SMS and get it signed and have it digitally stored for you right within your account. So when you think about it, it's calendar sync, it's payment processing on your phone, and then it's messaging that allows you to have really high velocity communications and transaction processing.
Now, I would imagine that you're working with people from a wide variety of backgrounds all over the world. So I'm curious, how are you actually seeing people leverage these technologies? And are there any examples or use cases that you can share with us today?
Absolutely. So, we have a range of service professionals that are using the technology. So think about it. You're thinking about your everyday hairstylist and barber is using it when folks come in and out of their shop, booking them their deposits to ensure that they get folks in their seats. And then when the folks are done getting their hair cut or styled, they're able to complete and charge that appointment. That's one example. Another example on the complete opposite extreme are life coaches. So think about a life coach is working with folks who are typically, high flying corporate or high flying really successful folks, or people who have really great aspirations and they're trying to realize those aspirations in the context of their day to day. Life coaches are using this to get booked and paid as well. So people are easily able to buy a package of life coaching sessions from them up front. So they're buying a bundle of appointments up front. And then the life coach is able to schedule them over the course of, several weeks or several months to be able to do work with them. The other cool thing the life coach can do, life coach can schedule messages to their clients. So they can say, hey, I want to send them an inspirational quote in 2 weeks to really make sure they're really inspired to really deliver on that commitment they made. So they're able to schedule those messages. So you can not only do booking and payments and sort of secure your schedule, but you can also schedule messages to your clients to ensure that communication, that interaction is ongoing. So from hairstylists to life coaches, and in between you have fitness trainers. They are really heavy user of the PocketSuite tool because they're in the gym all day. They're not behind a desk. So they can't afford to have to wait to get behind a desk at the end of the day to follow up on all of the great things that are happening in their world. And so they're using PocketSuite when they're in between sessions, when their client is stretching, when the client is taking a water break, they're able to check to see if there's any pressing things that need to happen, or at least what new bookings they were able to get in that time. We also have therapists who are using it, and therapists are a very interesting bunch because they have relationships with their clients, right? They have really, really strong relationships with their clients. And when you start to talk about money and paying for the services that they're rendering, it starts to get a little uncomfortable. And so what PocketSuite's able to do is behind the scenes, once that credit card's on file, the therapist never has to send an invoice to their client. They can just complete and charge after every appointment. So that uncomfortable conversation of sending a bill or sending an invoice, that's no longer an issue. So there's a whole range of 26 different types of service professionals are using PocketSuite. I gave you a couple of examples from the hairstylist and barber to the life coach to the therapist to the fitness trainer, but you can imagine everything in between. Cleaners, you can think about health and wellness folks like yoga and Pilates instructors. Dog trainers are really, really heavy users, dog walkers, and so on and so forth. Literally anything you can dream up in terms of those businesses that are on the go, on the road, in the field, or in session with clients most of the time, 4 out of 5 days a week. They're using PocketSuite to ensure that nothing gets missed and that they have access to their clients from anywhere at any time.
So much of what you said really resonates with me there as a solopreneur myself, and I'm sure we've got many solopreneurs listening as well. And so I've got to ask, I mean, what are the key takeaways that you think that I or anyone listening should take away from our conversation today?
I think, when you are running a business, the most important thing is that you have access to your schedule and that you have access to the communication tools that you need to be able to get transactions done quickly. And so if you think about it and you think about the trend that's sort of mega trends that are happening in the marketplace, the tool of choice is becoming mobile, right? Desktop computers for the first time are under $1,000, right, in price, right? They're going down. The pricing of computers are going down. Guess what's going up? Mobile phone prices are going up. They're going up above $1,000. That's in part a signaling that tells you that more people are doing and want to do more on their phone. They need more computing power from wherever they are. So the importance of the mobile phone as a real device for not only consumers, but for business owners is super clear. So as a business owner, you've got to be a mobile business owner. You've got to be someone who can do really anything from your phone. And if you're not set up and you don't have the systems yet in place to do that, that's something to really focus on in 2019. That's number one. Number two is there's a lot of routine, repetitive work that business owners do every day, from scheduling to sending invoicing to following up on contracts and documentation. All of those are things that can actually be automated. And so it's like, why spend 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours a week doing those things? Spend that time either enjoying more time with your family and friends or delighting more clients and finding more clients. So there are systems and tools in place to automate the things that you do that really are routinized and can actually be systematized within an app or a tool. So don't spend any more time doing that. Invest the time and energy in getting those workflows automated so you don't have to spend any more time in that way. And then I would say, lastly, as you think about the future of work, no one is exempt from thinking about these things. 1 out of every 2 people is actually going to have and generate side income in the next 10 years. You already see it. The trends are clear. Large corporations are trying to figure out how to create more opportunities for flexible workers. You see the kind of rise of startups like Uber that are providing huge opportunities for 1099 workers. And then, with the rise of social media and the rise of really influence-based marketing and monetization, anyone that has 1,000 followers or on Instagram or more is in a position to generate income as a result of that. So literally no one is exempt in terms of opportunities to generate income, opportunities to do what you love, and to leverage your best skills and talents. And so now a way to put a professional face on what you're doing and to be able to have access to tools you need in order to ensure that that income is reoccurring, and really helps you your broader life goals.
Now, there's a great article that you wrote recently called How Stylists, Dog Walkers, and many, many more are all making 6 figures or more. The article goes on about what you can learn from them with the right tools and the right mindset, and how any solopreneur can actually go on to earn a 6-figure salary. Now, we have talked about some of the topics that was in that article, but can you tell people listening about the article and the kind of feedback that you've received since writing it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the article was kind of a game changer for folks. It was eye-opening for people to learn, people in, different parts of the country to learn, hey, actually some dog walkers, make $110,000 a year. What? That's more than I make in my, bank teller job. That's absolutely crazy. And I love dogs. Why can't I do that? So we got a lot of reaction around just the wow factor. A big part of our mission at PocketSuite is to ensure that anyone who wants to become a service professional can actually do it and make a really good sustainable income. That's a huge part. We want service professionals to be that kind of job to be as sexy as a job as an investment banker, as a surgeon, as an engineer. We want it to be really sexy to become a dog walker or a dog trainer or a trainer and so forth. And so how do you do that? Well, the big thing that really came out of our piece there was you really just have to secure reoccurring income. That's the game changer, right? You have to ensure that once you get a client, you can keep that client, and that client is buying from you on a regular basis without you having to do a whole lot of additional work. And so the way we do that at PocketSuite, we offer service professionals the opportunity to set up subscriptions with their clients. So now a client isn't just buying a one-off appointment from you and then you have to go back and say, hey, do you want to book another one? No, you can get that client to confirm a subscription, that's 6 months, that's 12 months, that hopefully is continuous forever, right? And what happens is PocketSuite's able to auto charge that client based on the subscription plan that they've purchased from you, and you're able to get that money into your account, every month, every 2 weeks, whatever that frequency is. So now you've got folks like fitness trainers who literally are generating $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, a year because they have 200 clients that are on subscriptions with them that come to classes that they offer. And again, some of these trainers are working 20 hours a week, some of them are working 40, some of them are working 60 hours a week. It's just about how they structure it. And then you've got folks like dog trainers who before were kind of one and doners. Hey, I bought my new puppy, I took them to your puppy training class, and now I'm done. No. Now these dog trainers are setting up a series of classes. Hey, you can learn tips and tricks with, how to do tips and tricks with your dogs. You can learn, how to create a guide dog. So your dog is really, skilled in a particular way, or you can actually board your dogs with us. So you're a client with us once, you're a client with us for life. And so now we're going to have you buy a series of auto renewable packages, which again are code word for subscriptions, because we're going to charge you every month. And then you get a certain number of sessions with us as a result of that subscription plan. And so thinking about even cleaners now are doing subscription based booking. You buy a subscription with us and we come, twice a month, or we come 3 times a month, but that cleaner can then lock it in terms of that income versus having to call you and rebook you, or worst case, drop off because you didn't follow up with them to find out when they wanted their next clean to happen. So this has been a game changer for businesses that have worked really hard to try to keep clients. So rather than spending all of that time trying to keep clients in terms of remarketing to them, why not keep those clients by structuring a program with them that bills them on a regular basis for continuous service?
So if we have anyone listening that are really intrigued about PocketSuite, want to find out a little bit more information, can you just talk them through how to get up and running, but also get the most from the platform without any, any headaches or coming across any problems, just to tell them, to give them an idea of exactly what to expect when they arrive on the platform?
Absolutely. So PocketSuite was designed with, really the kind of, non-digital expert in mind, right? Folks who are not necessarily conversant in all of the latest technologies. So you literally, all you have to do is go to the App Store or Google Play, depending on the phone that you have, type in PocketSuite, and you're going to see our app there. You tap once and download it. It's as simple as that. There's a free version of the app. You can go in, and we have all a free trial, so you can test the full range of features in PocketSuite without having to spend any money. And what I'd say is when you get started on PocketSuite, the first thing you should do is test how to make a payment. Why? Because you need to understand, how do you collect the money? How do you collect your income? How do those cash deposits happen? And so you can do a quick test payment and feel really comfortable about, when I invite clients to pay me on PocketSuite, here's what that workflow is going to be. The second thing you want to do is then set up what we call your online booking widget. So whether you have a website or not, we have a booking tool that you can use to get booked and paid by anyone. You can put this booking tool on your social media page. You can text it to someone. You can email it to someone, and they can see your full range of services. They can see your calendar from it. They can tap one button to book and pay you. So it's a very simple tool, and all you have to do is put your services in there, put your and hopefully some subscriptions in there, price it, and then sync your calendar to PocketSuite on your phone, and you're done. And you can start sending out messages to say, hey, I've got a new booking and payments tool. You can reach me here anytime. Check my schedule. You give them a discount to do their first booking with you. It's as simple as that. It should take you literally no more than 20 to 30 minutes to get it all worked out, to get your test payment, and to cash out, and to feel really good being a mobile business owner.
So I've got to ask that. I mean, what is your story? What put you on this path? Can you tell me a little bit more about the story behind PocketSuite and how you got where you are today?
Wow, Neil, it was a really windy road. PocketSuite, I think it was a business always waiting to be born. I am the last of seven of Nigerian immigrants. And so I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and I went to Harvard University. And my goal was always to do something that really helped individuals, their best life and leverage their talents. And I started my career in management consulting for McKinsey and Company. I learned how really, Fortune 500 companies stand up new products and services, deliver them in the marketplace, and dominate. And I really wanted to replicate that for the smallest of businesses, any individual who has an idea that wants to put that idea to work. And so I initially created a business that really helped raise financing. For me, it was, hey, if I can help businesses raise money, they can really do anything they want to do in the world. And so I actually created a business that helped folks raise about $100 million. So businesses around the country that were raising primarily loan money from banks, I helped them raise a lot of money. And what I learned from that is money alone is not enough. Oftentimes these businesses raise money, but they wouldn't run a healthy business. And so that money would run out. Or they couldn't raise money at all because they weren't running a business that could pay back the money. And so I started thinking about what else could we do in order to really help businesses run really, really healthy operations that allow them to do their best work. And I met my husband, who is an amazing engineer, and he built a platform with some really, really smart folks in Silicon Valley called NetSuite. And NetSuite is essentially a platform that powers big businesses. So it manages the operations and the supply chain, the bookings and the payments of very large businesses. And he built that entire platform with a team of really, really smart engineers. And when they went public, he thought really long and hard about how he could do it all over again for smaller businesses. And so with my interest in really helping businesses run really great operations, and my husband's aspirations to, build a platform that allowed those businesses to do it really in a simple, automated way, we really came together to create PocketSuite, with the hope that we could really impact, the 300 million plus service professionals around the world, and make their lives easier, make their work more delightful, and help them make more income.
What a fantastic story. And I am conscious that we're going to have a lot of people listening to this podcast and our conversation all over the world. And they could be listening on their commute to work or during their daily routine, and they're dreaming of running their own side gigs. So what is the best advice you can offer someone listening today who's inspired by our conversation, wanting to build that side gig and then eventually become a full-time solopreneur? Is there any advice that you would pass on?
Yeah, absolutely. The scariest thing about going out on your own to build a business is not knowing whether you'll have any customers and really not knowing how much you're going to make. Those are the scariest things, because I think if you feel confident that you can get customers and that you have a sense of what you're going to make, it's worth the risk. You can jump out there on your own and you can test it out. Well, so two things to note. What we found based on the tens of thousands of service professionals that we've served is typically the first client that you'll ever get are friends and family. That's how it works. And so it's, hey, if you know how to do hair, do one of your friends and family's hair and get paid for it. So you just look to the people who are around you to become your first client. It will help you build confidence. You'll get great feedback, and they will refer you to others. And so it doesn't take much to go from, your first client who's your cousin to, 200 clients, who are within your area. So that's number one. And we found that the most successful service businesses on our platform, they started with friends and family, work colleagues, people that they knew. The second thing is, how much am I going to make? Real challenge for any business that gets started. Unless you're a very large business and you can look at a publicly traded company and see how much they're making, you don't really have a benchmark. PocketSuite recently created what we call a leaderboard, and that basically shows you in your industry what the top professionals are making. So you can sign on as a life coach and say, wow, life coaches are making, X number of dollars a month, $200,000 a year. And you can actually see those metrics within your leaderboard. And these are real-time metrics based on life coaches on our system. Same thing with fitness trainers, same thing with dog trainers. You can go in and see how much they're making, and you can see how many clients they're serving on a monthly basis. So you can really start to see, how much could I make? What kind of life could I have? So this is something you can't look up on Google. You can get really static, potentially information, but you can't really get granular information about how much you could make on a weekly, monthly, annual basis, and what you'd have to do in terms of client serve and how you have to price it to get there. On Pocket, you can learn that. So it takes the mystery out of starting your own business, because you really have a roadmap, a blueprint for how you can do it. And so don't be, worried about falling down. You have friends and family who are going to be your best initial customers, and they have friends and family that they can refer you to, so that you can build that business from the ground up, and then just understand how to build it, leverage a roadmap, leverage the benchmarks that others who have come before you, who have done it successfully, have and are continuing to deliver, so that you can, again, live your best life, do what you love, and make, the kind of money that you deserve to make.
Finally, before I do let you go, could I just ask that you remind the listeners of where they can find PocketSuite online, and also maybe even reach out and contact yourself or a member of your team if they've got any questions after listening to our conversation today?
Absolutely. So you can find PocketSuite online at PocketSuite.io. So you can type in PocketSuite.io. You can also go to the App Store and type in PocketSuite or Google Play, and you can download it right there. If you have questions about kind of who we are and what we do, you can actually text us at 415-841-2300. Again, 415-841-2300. We are here for you, and we are focused on helping you run your business over text. Thank you so much, Neil, for taking the time.
Well, I think one of the things that really stands out for me is technology has really removed the risks now and allowed anyone to set up their own business. And anyone can run a side gig as soon as they finish their daily job, as long as they're willing to sacrifice their evening addiction to Netflix, of course. But anything is possible. And most notably as well is PocketSuite. That removes the hassle and the pain points and all those learning curves, which are probably also putting people off diving in as well. But it can all be done on the side until you're ready to take that leap. But more than anything, just a big thank you for making everyone aware of that and your services, and for sharing your story with us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neil. You're doing really important work getting information out to aspiring entrepreneurs about all the technologies that are available to them when, and really appreciate the opportunity to share our story.
I really enjoyed chatting with Chinwe today, and so much of what she said resonated with me, because this is kind of a path that I've been along. I've ran the side gig, I've made the leap into the unknown, and I still remember that when I was in that corporate day job, that was deemed safe, where setting up your own business, it was a scary prospect. But let me tell you, I'm on the other side now. It isn't that scary at all. In fact, it's more scary having all your eggs in one basket, doing the same job, and 5 years from now someone tap you on the shoulder and say, well, I'm afraid that's it. For me, that was scarier. What I loved about the conversation with her today was the fact that on-the-go solopreneurs are suddenly in the driver's seat because of the 3 technologies that are all working together. And I hope this conversation today has helped you just a little bit. And like I said, I have trodden on this path fairly well, so wherever you're listening to this show, DM me and I'll try and point you in the right direction. Just like I said at the beginning of this episode, with Apple and Samsung working together, they can accomplish so much more. And so can we. We can accomplish so much more by helping each other on our own little journeys. But just like in The Godfather, remember, one day The Godfather may ask a favour of you. Seriously though, my philosophy in life is quite simply have a good time, make the most of our short time here, and help each other out along the way. But let me know what you thought of today's conversation by emailing me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter @NeilCHughes, Instagram @NeilCHughes, because my door is always open to each and every one of you, and I just want to make myself very approachable to you all in case you need that little helping hand or just want to tell me what you thought about today's show or offer a different point of view, because this show is not about me and the guest, it's about you too. And finally, if you're listening to the show on an iPhone or an iPad, if you could leave a short rating or review on Apple Podcasts, it will really help that pesky algorithm give us a little bit of love and bring more people into our little community here. So I really appreciate that. But I'm afraid that's it. We've reached the end of another episode. How does that work? How does time go so quickly? But don't worry, I will return tomorrow with another great guest. So all that's left for me to say is a big thank you for listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.